So Lily, we've had other farms talk about their CSA programs and how they manage it, and I know they can be, a lot of challenging things to it, especially just time management. But you guys are going to go with Harvie for next year?
Yeah, and that's what we came up with. The challenge is always, how do I make sure I have really high customer satisfaction, so I have repeat customers, and build like this organic base in combination with like what time can I afford to spend on this. And the whole CSA model, originally started with like trying to help out the farmer, support the farmer. So I don't want to get so far away from that, just trying to compete with, like delivery services, that it's not actually helpful for the farm. So we stumbled upon Harvie, and they have been incredible. We're just getting started with them, so we don't have like a year of experience under our belt to talk about yet. But what I can say is their customer support team is incredible. Like, speaking as a farmer, they are farmers. They understand. Like, they would ask me questions. I'm like, oh, I've been doing nothing but think about my farm, and you just came up with an idea that I hadn't thought of at all. Like, thank you for getting this, and also understanding like the admin work that goes in behind it. So they were really excited to start next year. It's going to allow us to have multiple pickup locations, and the payment plan, I think, will be the most like helpful thing. I was previously tracking each individual down, and we're trying to be accessible, so it'd be like multiple ways to pay, multiple payments throughout the year, which I have to track down for each single payment, because people forget. I forget to pay things all the time. But having that all automated and online is so simple, and it just is going to cut down my time so much.
Are you going to be allowing customizable boxes?
Yeah, so we're going to have fully customizable boxes through Harvie. The way it works is that at the beginning of the year, people put their preferences 1 through 5 of what they like and don't like, and each week as I do an inventory of the farm, what's going to be available, it does a couple things for me. One, it allows for this algorithm to set up each person's customized box with their preferences so that customer's more happy. And 2, it means I don't have this pressure to have exactly 50 portions of each of the 6 to 8 items that week. If I have 30 if something was shorter than I expected, but then I had like 70 of something else, it turns that what once was a negative stress for me into a positive customizable box for our customers. So it's like this perfect spin on it, and it's super simple for me to use.
So it's not really a week-to-week selection for customers. It's like they put in their preferences and it automatically spits out what you need?
Well, it's actually both. So that's what they do. They have like essentially the way it's been explained to me is that I'll put in my inventory, a customizable box will be spit out for each customer, and then I can either print out on a label, put it on the box and pre-pack it for them, or we can still do it market style, where they just have a list that they go by. But they will also at that same point get an email saying what's in their box that week. Then they'll have a small window, 24 or 48 hours, to go into our farm stand essentially online and trade something out. Like if they know they're going to make a big batch of sauce that week and they want to trade out a bunch of the other products they got for all of the extra tomatoes that we listed in our inventory that no one's claimed yet, they'll go ahead and do that. Or if they want to add extra tomatoes to their box that was customized for them, they can do that. So it translates all this extra produce we have really quickly into sales.
Okay, what does the timing look like for that? Like when do you have to input your sort of what you have and let people select?
So all of that is custom to each farm. Like the team helps you set that up. But for our farm, it'll be Wednesday is our pickup day, and we'll do a couple pickup days later in the week. But working back from Wednesday, their window to customize their box or to add things on will end Monday morning, and then we'll have our pick list for Monday and Tuesday. Anything we pick Wednesday to add on, and then all I have to do is put it in inventory the Friday before, which is relatively simple, and they have the whole weekend to figure it out.
What about the payment options for customers? Is it at the beginning of the season? Is it monthly? Is it quarterly? Like, how do you guys do that?
So there are a bunch of different ways to do it with Harvie. They've created this super user-friendly system. You could require it's however the farmer wants to do it. For us, we're going to have an option where you pay a couple weeks worth in the very beginning when you sign up, and then you just get charged week to week. It's a guarantee that you're going to pay throughout the whole season, so I'm still going to get that income as a farmer, but I'm not... I don't have to stress that. Like the number of times this past year, someone said, "Ooh, $500 is a lot," but I was like, "How about $20 a week?" And they're like, "Oh, I could do that," but the math is the same. But it's the idea of that big ticket price up front, which can be really intimidating to folks. And so that weekly charge, no one has to think about it. It's super simple.
And did you compare other softwares? Like I know like Farmigo is another one.
Yeah, and I've heard people talk really say a bunch of really positive things about that. For us, we wanted something as streamlined, as simple as possible, the least amount of admin. Harvie also takes on some of the customer service responses to for your customers. So when they have a question that typically they ask you, like, someone else is going to be picking up for my box this week, not me, is that okay? That's a super easy question for me to answer as a farmer, but it takes me like looking at my phone and checking that email and responding quickly. Well, Harvie's support team just answers for you. They'll CC you on all of it, but I can have very little to do with all of those back and forth. It saves a bunch of time.
So there's been a lot of talk about CSAs and if they're still relevant nowadays for small farms. And I think a lot of the struggle that people have is with the management side of it. And I know a lot of people want customizable boxes, and I think as a farmer, that's just can be a nightmare. So it's cool to see that, these companies like Harvie and Farmigo and stuff are making it possible for you to do what you want to do.
Yeah, and I think I could either be upset about that changing expectation from customers or embrace it. I mean, I think as farmers, we're constantly embracing change and being dynamic, and I think that's how you're successful. So this is just another way the market's evolving, and these platforms allow me to do the thing I love doing, which is farming and being outside. They can do the thing they're good at doing, which is organizing all of that data. And then our customers get a box they're more excited about eating. They have less food waste, and they come back year after year. So it's a win for everybody.
So do you think also it has to do with maybe there's options for CSAs now? I mean, every market's different, but if you can stand out and be sort of have a different product and that you're customizable and that, like, does that help you sell the CSA, you think?
I think it absolutely will. I mean, we'll see. Fingers crossed. We're launching in a couple of weeks, but I anticipate it'll be hugely beneficial to bringing people in, because a lot of the market we're trying to reach are not these like long-term CSA members who've been a part of farms or have lived around farms their whole life. They're people who live in the city who want to contribute and are starting to learn more about the food system, but don't know how to kind of plug in a convenient way that fits their life. And this is that in between. This will totally work.
Awesome.
Yeah.